Shalom, shalom. All praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And all the Akim out there that be pushing this truth with nothing but sincerity in the name of Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. And as you can see here, I was doing a little researching, at within things like that. And from what this picture, what it looks like to you guys, you know, they look, like Indians, right? Well, guess what? Back from where mom's from. We get a little history though. Back where mom's from, she's from this place called Nayari, and yeah, you see in Nayari, there's indigenous people called the Coras. They're called Coras, and they're Mexican Indians. So this lesson, I want to talk about how the so-called Native Americans and these Mexican Indians would they have the connection, how we related. We're from pretty, they're our brothers though. And that's the thing about it, though. No matter what they say, because Ishikarites and then the so-called Native Americans, the Trapagad, they're really into what they believes in. Like the Native Americans, they're real prideful people within within people what Esau did to them. So they're real prideful about their culture and things like that. But see, the thing about it is that they're Israelites, and I see the tribe of Gad, man, they're straight up Israelites, and I actually got another lesson to do about that tribe, but that's for another time. As you can see right here, yeah. So these are indigenous people from Nayarit, Mexico, yeah, and they're called Coras, and you just get a little history from him. Well, as you can see right here, this is the so Nayarit, right? Uh, it's a state northwest of Mexico, so it's like kind of like California in another way. Okay, we live in California, right? We're from the Central Valley, and we're like in the middle. That's pretty much what Nayarit is to Mexico. They're in the middle of Mexico, but a little bit more up north, but and of course west. So my mom, she's from a little town called Santa Cruz, right here, and then I got my dad too that actually is from Nayarit too, is also, and he, as you can see, there's a place called Compostela by Las Vargas. He's from a little town too, down south from Compostela. So my dad and my mom are pretty much from like the same place, and that's the thing. So the indigenous people, the Coras, what I was speaking of, they're from right here, this area. They're from this area right here, and they're also from Jalisco and Sinaloa. It's more to the right. So see, but and taking a trip back in 2005, me and my dad, we were at this place right here, actually, this city right here called Compostela, and we actually seen the Tocoras. Because my dad pointed them out. He's like, you see those people right there? And they were dressed different, though. They were dressed like old school. Like, they were just stood out. And I remember my dad telling me, he's like, you see those people right there? They're those Coras. And then I was like, oh, shit, and they literally look like Indians. Or so-called Indians. They literally look so-called Indians. So, and they dressed like, I don't know if you have brothers seen the India Maria, but they dressed like that. You see? But when I looked at them, I was like, damn, they look like Indians. So yeah, let's get a little history. Let's get a little history and see what the red dots at. That's where they're at, and it says Tokora live in the rugged mountains in the R mountains. Like where my dad's town is, it's like a town up in a hill, and it's like mountains around it, and it says mountain and canyon country of Nayarit across the border and neighboring Jalisco, Durango, and Sinaloa. In the early 18th century, they were an anomaly in that had never permitted Catholic missionaries, right, to live in their country. So they're their own people. They weren't trying to mess with that Catholic missionary. You know how the Christians too came over here and they tried to push that Christianity to the Native Americans. Well, these people, these Coras people, they weren't having it either. They're like, hell no, we ain't trying to mess with you guys. We ain't about that. And it says permissioners to live in their country. So they're like, nah, get the hell out of here. They had became a pagan island in the sea of Christian Indians and Hispanic culture. In 1716, a Spanish expedition to attempt to bring the Cora under Spanish control failed. You see, and these people, these Coras people, they're strong people, man. Their bloodline is real strong, and they kind of remind me of the Seminole Indians. You know how they took the Florida, they gave them Florida whatever, but they were still holding it down for the people. They went to war with them, with Esau. You see, and see this people, Cora people too. They weren't having it, and they fought as much as they could. But these Galotes, man, they had the man weapon, the power. So it says, however, and this is already like 6 years later, in 1722, the Spanish returned to force and the Cora yielded. According to Spanish accounts, many of them became Christian, practiced up until the present Catholic derived customs. You see, they pushed that shit how they did here in Americas or here in the United States. So they pushed that shit, man. They literally pushed that shit where they made people believe in their beliefs. You see, and that's the thing about it. What I don't understand is that how the hell are you gonna take this shit that Esau put upon you, man? And that's what I don't really understand. You got to go back, man, and see these Coras people, these indigenous people. They weren't having it, and to this day, you still see them around, and this how the bloodline still kind of like when you see so-called Native Americans, man. You see them, you don't see them as much around, but you kind of see them some places. It's the same thing with them, You go to towns in Nayarit and you will see some of them right there. See, but that the black they're like Seminole Indians, man. They were strong too. They went to war, and that's not just boosting them up though, and things like that. But I'm just saying, like they really were about their business though. They weren't trying to have Esau come at them, So, oh look, and then I got this picture. Look at what did she look like to you? Did she look so-called Mexican or she look Indian? To me, okay. So I zoom into her face and then I just screenshotted her face. But guess what? This lady right here, she's actually a Native American. But to me, she looks Mexican. She looks really Mexican to me. Do you see the similarities? And that's the thing, that's what I'm talking about. Some Native Americans look like um, the Coras, man, the indigenous people from Mexico. You see? And look, I got another picture right here. Look at this is right here. He looks Indian, right? But guess what? He's a Cora. But he is an Indian, but he's a Cora. Well, he is a Cora. You see? And then look at, and then this is a Northern Mexican Indian. You see, and this is Middle American Indian, of course. You know, and it's I can't say that word. It says Cora, the Juco, and look at Juco and Cora people, and that's how they look. You see, you can't deny the fact that look at them. That's the Native Americans. So you can't deny how different they look from each other. You can't deny how different they look from each other. Look at the similarities. Look at this kid, man. Looks like a little Ishmaelite from Mexico. So you see, you can't deny that fact that they both don't look alike. And I did actually a little research too. Or look at this is a so-called Native American, and then look at Aztec. Look at the similarities of the dress. You see, they still got similarities to them. You know what I'm saying? But Esau tried to say they're Native Americans and we're Mexicans. You know, and it's funny because look at I did a little more research though. So like yeah, where is it at? Okay, look at it says the name. Okay, let me read. Where it says modernity in the court of the Gentiles. His extensive attempt to trace all ancient ideas and beliefs back to Hebrew scripture. Um, Theophilus Gal claims that Gora originated from the Hebrew ora, ora, which ora, in Spanish means hour, but look what in Hebrew means ora, right? And then I found this kind of funny though that there's a dance is a traditional ora is a traditional Roman folk dance where the dancers hold each other's hands and circle the spins, usually counterclockwise. See, so in Romania they have this thing, right? This dance where they have each other's hands and they dance around. You see, and then look, there's another one: the Gora religion between the pre-conquest religion and Catholicism. Religion has three principles. You know what I'm saying though? So that's for another topic though. But you see, they push that Catholic on them too. They didn't want it though, but they still pushed it. But you see, but I was going on YouTube. I was going on YouTube and look at the similar dance though. The where's this lady? Oh, here it is.
Free next day delivery from
Slovakia
AutoZone.
about this
Order as late as
fucking
10
ads.
p.m. Get it the next day.
Let's see if this internet gets it. Look at the dance. Holding hands, right? So see, they had hands and they were dancing like that. And it's just coincident. Not I said coincidentally, but I just kind of funny, like ora. How he said though, Gora originated from the Hebrew ora, and ora is a dance. And now look at these are Goras traditionally dancing too. And look at how these the Indians, right? The Gora Indians from Mexico. Like yeah, he dances, look and see. And went a little bit too far. And look at how the way they dance. Look at the way they dance too. I just find it kind of a little funny though, So see the holding the hands and spinning. These are the Dakota Indians. See the hands. See, so I kind of I said kind of funny though because this thing is that, but this lesson what I'm trying to get at is just the fact of the matter that our things go our lineage goes way back. It doesn't go back to just Mexico. It doesn't go back to just being in Americas. It goes back before that, and that's I want to make this lesson that our lineage goes back though, and we're related in ways. Well, not ways we are. So this lesson's about we are related, no matter what the white man try to say. You see, and then quick little thing too, um, because I mean my last name is Flores, and my dad one time told me he was like, our lineage goes back to from like we came from Spain, and then I was kind of a little interested. I was younger too when he told me this, and I should have asked him more. I still could ask him though, and I was, oh, that's crazy. We came from Spain. But I was like, I thought we were Mexicans, and being younger, I never understood. But then I actually I the surname of Flores, right? So then I did just googled it real quick, and just wanted to see where it originated, and because our last name is Flores, so it's passed down through generation through generation, and that's my dad's side. And through my dad's side, Flores, that my dad, my grandpa, and look, it says in Spain, the surname Flores is first found in the kingdom of Asturias, where the Visigothic royal court took refuge after Muslim invasion. But you see, in Spain, so I'm not saying anything, But I'm just saying, look how last names too also comes from somewhere, and you go through. See, my lineage within my dad's though, he's like he said though, goes back from the going to Spain. So like I said, and my mom's, I mean, all that matters is through the dad's course. It's through the dad's course is the most important. But you see, my mom's too. I mean, my dad's too, of course, too. They're from the Coras too. So with that, I just want to make I find it kind of interesting, and I know I didn't hit a precept this time, but with that, I hope this video was edifying. Like I said, we're all brothers though, from the 12 tribes of Israel. With that, shalom.